Welcome back to Facebook Groups 101. My name is Tanya Kubo. I'm an online community strategist who is a little bit of a Facebook group superfan, though I am platform neutral. I do believe that Facebook makes it very easy for people who want to start communities to do so without money out of pocket and with very little tech know-how. And in this series, I am walking you through all the various aspects of Facebook groups from the technical side so you know how to do the things that you want to do. And today we are going to look at group settings. So I will share my screen in just a moment and show you kind of the various group settings that you have to choose from. And if we have time, I will also walk you through group features that you can add or remove. So let me share my screen. And this is another tutorial where I just take you into the backside of my own group. So we are going to go to our admin panel here on the left-hand side. I'm already logged into Facebook. I'm in my group, and I'm just going down to this group settings, which is underneath the settings tab. Now, if you've watched some of the other videos, you know that all about the name and description, that goes here. You click the pencil icon, and then you can edit those accordingly. You can set up a new member intro. And what this does is it shows kind of the first time a member visits your group after they join, this will pop up on their screen. You can edit this message, so it doesn't have to be your group description. You can actually personalize this, but you will notice there is absolutely no formatting. There's not even a stinking paragraph break. None of the URLs are clickable like they are in your description. It is kind of annoying, but it is nice to have that here. And then you see a picture of every single person who is an admin of the group or has admin privileges. So it is nice to have kind of this splash screen before they join the group. So at the very least, you can give them a good first impression. I will tell you, most people don't know what it is and they just click out of it immediately without reading it. If they click next, however, it will take them straight to the rules. So then they're able to see all of the rules before they do anything, and then they have to click got it, and then they are allowed to go into the group. So that is the intro message. And here's how you can edit it if you want to, and then you select whether you want it to show them the rules after the intro or not. And then you can delete it if you think that it doesn't have any use for you. All right, so we're going to cancel that. And so that's your new member intro. Then your privacy, remember your choices are public or private. You can kind of sort of switch back and forth, but there are some rules has to do with your group size and some other things. I can put more information below, but we talked about privacy when we talked about setting up the group. And then you can hide the group, right? So the choices are hidden or visible. So this is whether it comes up in search. Location. So in my case, the location of my group is not important because I do serve a global audience, even if a majority of my community members are from North America. But if you had, an I love my town Facebook group, then you would probably want to make sure that people knew that it was situated in your town. And that way Facebook is only showing it to people who are within a reasonable geographic distance to you. So not all groups need to be location-based, but some are. And then you can also select tags. And none of the tags really apply to what I'm doing, so I don't have any tags with my group, but if you had a politics group, you might want to select that. If it's like an I Love Christmas, there is actually several Hallmark Christmas Channel groups out there, and they have theirs set up for holidays and celebrations, children and parenting, health and leisure, food and drink, all sorts of different options. So if these tags are helpful to you, you can pick up to 2. Then here's where we can customize our group. So you can customize your group through the URL. And again, there are some rules around that. So when you customize it, make sure it's something that you want to stick with for long term, because once you go over 5,000 members, you cannot customize it again. You can change your group color. So that's kind of fun. So here's some different colors you can do. You can also have it sort of match the colors for your cover image. That's what I have done here. And then it'll pick an accent color for you. You can use hex codes if that is something you so desire. Now let's look at badges. You don't have to let people have badges in your groups, but it's kind of a mild form of gamification. I don't know anybody who's doing things in groups these days because they want to earn a badge, but maybe there is somewhere and I just haven't encountered them. But you can have, a badge for people who have voted on the poll. Admin badges are, if you want people to be clearly marked as an admin, you turn that on. Moderator, turn that on. Group expert, turn that on. Then if somebody has more than one profile in the group, it can show their username every time. If they're a contributor, if somebody is a top contributors, right? So those are all the badges that people can earn based on their activity in your group. Then there is the group affiliation, which is just a page that your group is affiliated with. And I believe you can only add one. Yeah, just one. So this is my business page, so that is the affiliation I have. But if I wanted to, I could just attach it to my personal profile. That would be a choice too, but I like having it associated with my page. Now here's where you manage your membership. So here's where you decide who can join your group. So click that pencil. You can decide whether it's profiles and pages or only profiles. You can't have a group with just pages. Just so you know. I have mine as just profiles because the way that my group operates, we all get to know each other on a deep level. We are, all working to have better groups. I want to know who is posting. It's a problem for me to have pages join my group. That does not mean it would be a problem for you. The reason it's a problem for me is there's no way of knowing who is posting as the page. So if you have a page that has like 5 different admins, they can all post in a group that allows the page to be a member. That's awesome in many cases. Like if you're joining a group that is for speakers, you're joining a group that's for authors, right? It's awesome to be able to have the page be active in those groups regardless of who is adminning the page at that time. But in a group like mine, where we're all talking about like community management and people are asking a lot of questions, it doesn't help me to see that your page has asked a question if that question is from one specific admin, because it's entirely possible that every single admin on that page has asked that same question over and over again. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I already answered that question. I mean, I wouldn't say it in that tone of voice, but I'd be like, oh, did you not see where I answered your question over here? And you wouldn't necessarily know that one of your other admins had already asked that question in the group. So that's why I don't allow pages to join my group, but you may want pages to join your group. So those are your options there. Then you can select who can approve member requests. I recommend only admins and moderators, but you can have anybody in the group. And I have had groups that have this turned on, and then I'm always getting these member requests for their group, which feels weird. But just know if it's anybody in the group, members can only approve requests if they come from their Facebook friends. They can't just approve people willy-nilly who they have no interactions with. I also, if spam or bot accounts is a concern of yours, I don't recommend allowing members to approve requests because they could just let in all their like spammy, salesy, weirdo people in there if they wanted to. Who is pre-approved to join the group? I recommend a default of nobody, but you can pre-approve folks. You can upload a list of email addresses. So let's say, again, you're running a group for a challenge. Let's say your group is for members of your program. Your group is part of a paid membership, or maybe you're running a group for an event, right? This is like a group for the speakers of an upcoming conference. You could actually upload the email addresses of those speakers, the email addresses of the members, and those individuals, all you have to do is send them the link. They click the link, they click join group, they're automatically pre-approved. They don't have to go through any gatekeeping or anything else. So this is great. Again, challenges, events, speaker scenario, like like speaker events, or maybe if you have like affiliates and you want to have a separate group for your affiliates, or if it's a paid membership and you just want to make it easy for people to join the group and not have to go through a bunch of gatekeeping, that is a great way to go about doing it. You can also pre-approve membership requests from people who are already in other groups that you run if you choose. So we've got managing the discussion in the group, right? Do you allow anonymous participation or not? I don't in most of my groups. Who can post? So some people don't know there's an option. It's either anyone in the group or only admins. If admins only can post, then other people can comment on those posts, but they can't create their own post. Sometimes that's nice to keep things manageable when you're running a challenge. Post approval, this means that it's either off, which means everybody who tries to post, it goes automatically in the group, or you can set all posts to admin approval. This is great for groups that just naturally lend themselves toward a lot of spam. If you don't want to be deleting stuff from the group feed all the time, you can just put everything to post approval and only let the things through that are, valid. Also, post approval is great if you want to personally respond to every post. That way, people aren't just kind of left on red for too long. There are pros and cons to it. Happy to discuss that if you have questions, but that's really what post approval is. Approving edits. So I have it set that anytime somebody edits a post, it goes up. It will land in awaiting approval. Pending posts. It'll go back to pending posts here, because there's nothing to prevent somebody from posting something, it gets in a group, and then going back and editing it to being some like spammy, like yucky thing. So if they edit the post, then I want it to go back to approval. But you can turn that off if you want, especially if it's a membership or something where you just don't need that added layer of security. You can edit post formats here, right? These are all the different formats that you allow in your group. So you can actually turn off live, right? And say, nope, nobody can live stream in the group. Now, here's the problem is you can't just say only I can live stream in my group, right? It's like either the feature is on or it is off. But you can turn off creating events, tagging events. You can turn off polls, adding files. If you hate GIFs, you can turn those off. You can turn off Reels. These, however, are the default formats that you may not remove. Every group has the ability to add photos or upload videos. Every group has the ability to, like, if you're using the group from your phone or whatever, to take a picture, to check in, to tag people, to post how they're feeling, and to use that background color image. You can sort posts by newest activity, newest post most relevant. Facebook is changing this. So again, this is June 2026. Facebook is playing around right now with a default of highlights where they decide what people see. Nobody I know likes that, so I'm hoping that doesn't stick. But if you watch this and you no longer have the ability to sort posts, that is why. You can also sort comments. I just use the suggested default, but you can go with top comments, most recent comments, or it'll just show all comments in chronological order, including possible spam. And then what is your default tab? So your default tab is when somebody is in the group, where do they land, right? Discussion is the default that most of us want, but there are others that you can choose. And then these are the features that you can add to your group. If you have any questions on any of these specific ones, let me know. Whether you don't want people to share files, these are PDF files. But I'm happy to create separate videos, but most people would consider this all self-explanatory, so they may not have that question. So just to let you know. And then there's contributions, which is earning points for what they're doing. So you can allow members to earn points, and then they get contributor badges if they want. Again, I don't think anybody's participating in a group to get this, but it's kind of fun. And then guides, which is a way of organizing your content, that will get its own video. And if you wanted to add a new feature, you would go to add new, and these are all the other options that you can do. There is a lot. Again, if you have any questions, let me know.